Hi there, it's Nosi here, and welcome to Living Authentically, where are going to talk about how to be authentic or being authentic in love and life and relationships and in work and everything else in between. So, yes, as I said, my name is Nosi, and I am recently qualified as a counseling psychologist. I've been one officially for less than a year, and during my training, I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about life. I've learned so much about relationships. Basically, yeah, I've learned a lot. And I want to share those lessons with you and give tips on how to be more authentic. So yeah, the reason why specifically I chose living authentically, the reason why I'm personally on this journey to become more authentic is because I've learned things about myself that I've realized have stopped me from living a more authentic life and from experiencing things, experiencing life that feels more fulfilling in a way that feels more fulfilling in a way that feels more authentic. So yeah, I wanted to share those lessons with you, and hopefully, if you comment below, you can share with me, you can share with other viewers about your own experiences on your journey to being more authentic. So yeah, so that's me, and thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe. And in the video today, I want to talk about what I learned stopped me from being authentic. There's one major thing that stopped me from living a more authentic life. But let me start by telling you what I feel being authentic means. So to me, being authentic or living more authentically means, in a nutshell, embracing all parts of myself um, that I like, that I don't like, embracing all those parts. And that is very important, to just learn how to embrace all those parts, the good parts and the bad parts. Even if I want to work on the bad parts of myself or the parts that I'm not so proud of, if I want to work on those things, I believe that embracing those parts is a very good important step, because if you try to run away from those parts of yourself, if you try and kind of hide or pretend that they're not there, um, then you're not facing them and you're not really working on them. Yeah, because that will come with shame. So if you feel ashamed of parts of yourself, then shame. That's what shame makes us do. It makes us do this. It makes us hide from those things. So if you feel ashamed about parts of yourself, if you're not so proud of parts of yourself, it becomes a little bit more difficult to actually look at those parts and understand them and work on them so that they don't stop you from living a more authentic life, from living a life that you want to live, basically. So yeah, that's what being authentic means for me, embracing who I am, the good, the bad, the ugly, all that. And I feel that if I am able to do that, then I'm able to have more fulfilling experiences in my life, more fulfilling relationships, more fulfilling work and career experiences. So yeah, that's what it means to me. So the one part of myself that I feel or that I discovered kind of stopped me from living a more authentic life was my people pleasing habits. So I used to be, I can say proudly used to be, I mean, I still am a people pleaser, but I used to be a huge people pleaser. I used to do so many things to try and get people to like me. And I say used to be because I'm not saying I'm not that person anymore. I still do have those people pleasing habits, but they are not the focus. They are because I've become aware of that. I do things to um, I do things that are not people pleasing, if that makes sense. So I yeah, so I'm basically, I would say I'm a recovering people pleaser. Yeah, so I used to be a huge people pleaser, and um, the things that I would do to try get people to like me, actually I realized didn't um didn't build more fulfilling relationships, more fulfilling connections. Um, yeah, so what I used to do is, or yeah, what I struggle with doing in order to get people to like me, I would do things like over compliments. So if I met you, I would over compliment. I would say all these things. Oh, I like this. I like that. I like your dress. I like your shoes. I like this about you. I like that about you. I'd throw so many compliments. Um, and I'm not saying those compliments were lies. I'm just saying that I would overdo it so that I can basically try to convince you that I'm I'm nice to be around. Like I'll say that I like so many things about you so that you'd want to keep me around. So that's what I would do. I would compliment a lot. Some people say I'll compliment too much. I'd also be vague when it came to talking about myself. I would like yeah, I'd be generally vague or sugarcoat things when I talk about myself so that I don't possibly offend anyone. If yeah, I'd be so scared of appearing to disagree with people. Um, so I'd be sort of vague when I talk about myself so that I don't offend. Um, yeah, so that yeah, so basically so that I don't offend, and I thought yeah, so I thought like kind of being vague about myself or really not talking about myself would also help me in getting people to like me more. I would also try and press if I feel like I was doing good things, or yeah, I would also try to do a lot to impress, make you be impressed by me. Yeah, so I'd also do that, and I would also, this is also a big thing, I would try come across as very helpful and very dependable, basically useful. I would try come across as a very useful person so that you'd want to have me around, so that people will want to have me around, because they'll think, oh, but Mosi is so helpful, and she'll always be around when I need someone, when I need some help, she will be there. So yeah, basically, you would say I would try and manipulate people into thinking that I was useful to be around, that I was good to be around. So I'd do all those things to make people want to be around me. And I thought that if I did those things, then people want to be around me, and then over time, I would have these amazing relationships. I'd have these amazing friendships, and I'd have these good connections, these fulfilling, exciting connections that make life more enjoyable. But I actually realized recently that, wow, actually, no, all these things that I would be doing would actually go against that goal of wanting to have these close connections with people. Um, and I'd do all these things, and they'd leave me feeling, I would still be left feeling very lonely and very confused as to why I'm so alone, and as to why I'm feeling lonely, even if I'm around people. I would still feel lonely and left feeling confused, because I'd be like, well, I'm doing all these good things. Why are people not inviting me? Why are people like not yeah, why am I not having these good, exciting friendships or relationships? What's happening if I'm doing all the right things, or the things that I feel are right? Um, and also, people would sometimes tell me, and this would be people that I've known for a long time. They would say things in passing like, "Oh, I actually don't really know you," or you have this guard up. One person actually said that I come across as fake while back. So at the time I didn't really understand that, because I was so because these were blind spots that I had for, to myself. Um, if somebody were to tell, yeah, so the person said I come across as fake, or I'm a fake friend, and I didn't understand that at all. And now I realize that actually doing all these things, over complimenting and and trying to so hard to come across as useful and trying to impress, it can also come across as being fake, as being a fake person, and then that leaves people feeling like they don't really know me, and they, they, as much as I would feel that I'm not really connecting to them, but not really realizing that, they would also feel the same way, that they're not really connecting to me. They don't know who Mosi is, because I'm doing all these things to try people please. So this is what I recently realized. And in order to live a more authentic life, and in order to experience life as being more fulfilling and more authentic and more free, um, I realized in that I needed to work on those people pleasing habits. I needed to get to a point where I didn't try so hard to get people to like me. And what I started to do was to journal my thoughts and my feelings consistently, almost every day or every week. Um, I would journal, and I would do this to try and first and foremost connect to myself, because I do believe personally that whatever goal that I have, I need to start from the inside and then work my way outside. So I would start journaling and write down my thoughts and my feelings, um, and being honest with myself. So yeah, I create that safe space, and it's just me and just me and my journal basically, and that's a safe space for me personally to connect to myself, to be more honest, to write down everything that I'm feeling, that I'm thinking, everything, and being as honest as possible without judging myself, without being too harsh on myself. So journaling is what helps me to connect to myself, to yeah, to be honest with myself, to connect more with myself, and to build that fulfilling relationship or connection to myself. Um, so this I would do on. I'd make it a I'll make it like a daily or a weekly practice to have those moments to just connect with myself, be curious about myself, be honest about myself. No matter how uncomfortable the thought or the feeling, I would keep writing. And I realized that it was working, or I'd realized that it would be working when whatever I'm writing down is hitting a nerve. So if I'm feeling triggered by what I'm writing down, then I know it's working. Then I know it's hitting a nerve. It's bringing up feelings, and feelings. It doesn't really help to kind of run away from them. It is, especially with difficult feelings, the the first instinct for me is to immediately run away, to get back to a place of comfort. But those feelings are still going to be there, and they're going to show their ugly head at some point. Um, so when I'd sit and journal, I would just start with one sentence and just say, I'm feeling like this right now, or I'm writing this down because, like, yeah, I just start one sentence at a time, and then when I get to a point where I'm realizing, oh, something's actually coming up, I'm actually connecting to my feelings, I would keep writing instead of running away. I'd keep writing and basically give those feelings a voice, whether it be anger, sadness, anxiety or nervousness, whatever it is, mixed feelings as well, all of them. I'd want to give them a voice, so I'd keep writing to give those feelings a voice, to try and understand what those feelings are saying at the moment. So yeah, so that's what I would do. That's what I'm still doing. Journaling every day, um, almost every day to connect to myself more. And I've found that as I'm doing this, it becomes then easier for me to say what I mean what I say when I'm with people, when I'm having conversations with people. Um, that also takes practice. It doesn't just come like easier, doesn't just come easy or automatic. It also takes a bit of practice. But because I started working on myself and connecting to myself, um, then it becomes less scary, I would say, than to start being more honest with other people. So with other people, to try build more fulfilling connections and relationships, I would then try my best to say what I mean and mean what I say. And if I and this is like a pep talk that I give myself on like almost on a daily basis. If I do offend somebody, then I will trust that that issue will be brought up and resolved. Um, yeah, it doesn't always happen like that because it's easier for a lot of people to run away from conflict. But I would just say, if I do offend somebody, um, that will come up and hopefully that will come up and that will get resolved and life will move on. Um, yeah, it won't be the end of the world if I say something wrong or if I upset somebody unintentionally. It's life will move on and if those conflicts come up, then I've learned something from it, or they and hopefully as well for them as well they have learned something from it. So yeah, so that's what I've experienced over the last few years is that as I'm consistently connecting to myself, then with other people, I would start saying what I mean and meaning what I say and having um, basically starting to experience connections that are more fulfilling and more authentic. So yeah, that's the tip I would give you for today is to find a way to connect with yourself, connect with how you're feeling, whether it's journaling, um, whether it's talking to a really trusted friend, someone you can be vulnerable with, someone who makes you feel heard, whether it's praying, talking to your God, whatever it is that that helps you to connect truly with yourself, so that you can feel more authentic within yourself and then experience more authentic connections. So yeah, that's my tip for today. And in the comment section, I would like you guys to, number one, write down what being authentic means for you. How would you define being authentic or living authentically? And number two, I'd also like to find out what you think is stopping you from experience life from experiencing life more authentically. So yeah, if you want, please put those two things in the comments, and then I've also put my email address in the description box where you can where you can send me suggestions of what you want me to cover. You can also, if you feel comfortable, send me your personal experiences, what you've learned as you're on this journey of being authentic. Yeah, so when you do send me those, your own personal experiences, your own personal lessons, then I can share it here on this channel. So thank you very much. And remember, before I go, I want you guys to remember that living authentically is a process. It is not a goal. It is not an outcome. It's a process. So it's not a thing where you can cross the finish line and saying, I'm perfectly authentic. Life is great. It's a lifelong process. Where there are ups and downs, zigzags, all those things. So because of that, it is very important to be patient with yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be compassionate with yourself. Yeah. So that's yeah. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.